sound right. Yeah. Let me see if I can get this stream working without any error. All right, cool. So that's fine. Cool, got that running. And trying to just stream. Yeah, we're gonna give, what are we on time today, man? We on time. So let's try to
Ah,
stream.
man, early.
Yeah, we are on time. Oh, why do I got the waiting room on for the study group? All right, cool, it's off now. Perfect. Because yeah.
Good, Joe.
What's going on, Wayne?
Bro.
Good. So I know what I can do then. I guess I could take the stream link and post it on, doesn't matter, it's cool, it's cool. Yeah, so we'll be starting in, well, when we started on time. Well, we started on time today. But I try to just do a 5-minute buffer regardless. So that's why I normally just start at 5 after anyway to get the team so everybody could lock in. And y'all had a good weekend?
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, I definitely had a good weekend.
Okay, well, yeah, I know you.
Sir.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. I mean, we had a great week. So it's only right to have a good weekend.
Right.
Yeah, just it's a few stocks that they got a few things going on. They up to a few things, and I'm just kind of anxious to get back to the market. So yeah. So I guess we could just go ahead and get started because everybody's, I guess we got enough people to just go ahead and lock in. So yeah, man. So let's just get started, get right into it. Thank everybody for hopping on. So again, like I said, we trying to give a 5-minute buffer, but we just gonna go ahead and hop into things. I'm not gonna read this because I never read this slide. Cool. So I am going to read this slide. By watching or reading this, you're saying you understand the following. I am not a financial advisor. This is not trading advice. This session is solely for educational purposes. There are significant financial risks associated with options trading, and I'm not liable for your wins or losses in the market if you decide to act on this information. Let's go ahead and get started. Cool. So we got a good, last week we didn't have any Fed speakers. Everything was smooth sailing because this upcoming week, right? So we got the Federal Reserve this week because we got FOMC on Wednesday. So the way this works is FOMC is a 2-day meeting or conference or whatever you want to call it, where all of the Fed presidents and stuff of different states, they get together and they decide whether or not they should raise rates, why they should raise the rates, and if they want to raise rates, so it's just that debate. So, we always talk about the famous Loretta Mester, how important she is, or James Bullard, because those two of those, they're two of the Fed speakers the Fed members that they cause a lot of turmoil in the market, right? When they speak. So they be at these meetings too. And they vote yay or nay, because what's going on. One of the reasons the market has been running lately is because everybody feels like the Fed shouldn't raise interest rates at all. He's been doing 25 basis points for a while now. And everybody feel like, well, with the bank situation and everything that happened with that we are at a point where he should just pause for a second. And so every time the Fed raised interest rates or reduced the balance sheet, it's like there's something called quantitative tightening that's happening, right? So look at it like a vice grip or something. Every time they raise interest rates or reduce the balance sheet, it's tightening this grip tighter and tighter, and eventually it's going to pop. That's what started happening with the banks, right? So we start to see the bank run. So we're starting to see a lot of things happen, and now real estate is starting to feel the pinch too. So I'm not going to go too deep into all of this right now, but what I am going to say is that so these meetings are important. So the reason the market ran so much is because we're at a point that it seems like it seems like the consensus is the Fed should pause now. I don't trust that. I don't trust anything that these people say. I'll wait to see what Powell actually does, but that's what they're saying now, right? So on Tuesday, they have day one of that meeting, and then day two. At the end of day two, soon as the meeting has concluded, the Fed comes out, goes on to releases a statement on the Federal Reserve website, and then does a live press conference where he gives the Fed decision, goes prepared. He got like 30 minutes. He comes out, and then he gets bombarded with questions from different people, right? So that's a volatile time. So we got that Wednesday at 2 p.m. And then again, the presser is at 2:30. That's where the market is really the most volatile. But crazy thing is, I haven't seen this happen in a while, but we got CPI the day before. So CPI, lately, the last few CPIs, it's been going, let's just be clear. CPI, inflation has been going down since last June. It's been going down since it peaked, and it's been going down. So the Fed's doing something right, but it's different components to everything that's happening, right? So it's been going down, but the last few times it's been lower than expected, and it's been like they've been doing really good with getting that interest rate. I'm sorry, with getting the inflation down, right? So we got another rate hike again. Like I said, that's coming soon, possibly. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so we got CPI on Tuesday. That's pre-market, so it's before the market open. And we can kind of get an idea how the market may react to that news. Or there are a few signals we typically get when that happens, right? If it's going to be a good CPI print, and he hasn't done it lately, but like Biden will come out and speak and brag about how his administration got inflation down, or we'll see the market respond by the end of the day, like how smart money responds at the end of the day. That's another signal. I'm tripping because I'm still looking. I went over here to check, right, to see if we still had a forecast, and we still don't have a forecast listed here. So I'm waiting to see what the forecast is.
They cooking the books anyway, man.
Exactly. So
I thought that was just my Weeble China calendar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm like trying to see what the forecast is going to be. So yeah, we don't have a forecast right now. But yeah, so that's that. But another thing. So yeah, you can see here, we got PPI is on Wednesday morning. So the Fed is at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, but we got PPI, which is the producer price index, right? So that's going to come out pre-market. So we got two economic events that's going to happen pre-market that's going to really dictate how things going. I didn't even realize this, but we got retail sales data on Thursday. So that's another one that's really crazy. Then we got consumer sentiment on Friday. So we got some stuff that's coming, right? And so yeah, and I got a feeling that I don't see her on the schedule or nothing. I don't see her, but I got a feeling Mester going to speak this week, because on Tuesday, on Tuesday, we also got the what is it? That's actually, is that Tuesday? Yeah, 11 a.m. We got the Cleveland CPI. So she's the Cleveland Fed, so she may come out and speak. So just be on watch for her to come out and speak too. But yeah, so that's what we got coming up. And again, this stuff is important because every chart tells a story, but sometimes we be looking for what's going to push it there, what's going to get it there, what's going to get it to these price levels, and it be the economic data. This is the heat map for last week, right? And we're gonna go over a few stocks, man. Where Katie is Katie on here? Because he posted something in the chat about United Health, and I saw it in the chat last night. I think it was last night he posted it. But yeah, I saw he posted something. I was going to ask him about it today. But yeah, it's a few stocks we actually we're going to get to today. So I'm not going to spend too much time on here. I will say shout out to Tesla, you know, but you can see a lot of stocks had big moves, and there's some that have yet to move. So we will touch on a few of them. But yeah, it's a few sectors. But I want to point out one thing while we're on here. The top performing sector on Friday was consumer discretionary. Now, remember, I told y'all that consumer discretionary is that sector where if you got extra money, you go spend. So like going to like Macy's or a department store to buy a new refrigerator, or to go get a Tesla, or, you know, go buy some clothes or whatever. That's what you do when you got extra money. So the fact that those stocks are booming, that's because those are the stocks that get hit the hardest. Some of the stocks that get hit the hardest when there's any thought of recession or a bear market or anything that means the market could come down. You got to think of what could you get rid of first? The ones that are going to be the, you know, so those are the ones you don't need. So that sector is performing well. So that's a bull signal. We're going to get the SPY in a second, but on Thursday, after the close on Thursday, we officially went into a bull market. So we finished in a bull market by that close on Thursday. Second best performing sector on Friday was technology. Shout out to big tech. And then we had healthcare and financials barely, and communication services barely, but they were green. Everything else is red. The worst performing sectors were materials, utilities, real estate, followed by energy, right? So yeah, let's keep it moving. Yeah, so this was the performance right here on Friday. So this was how everything ended on Friday versus the week before. I'm not sure if this is the week before because I'm not sure if this is from the week before because we didn't have a study group last week. So I'm not sure if I updated this one or not. So yeah, that's maybe off. Because I thought I could have sworn that technology finished red last week. I thought so, but yeah. But anyhow, top options flow. So look, this is interesting. So on Friday, a lot of money got pumped into Apple and heading throughout, you know, especially towards the end of the day on Friday. Obviously, Tesla had a lot of flow in it on Friday. AMD, Carvana, CRM, Meta. So we had a few stocks that actually, why was all that flow going in Zoom? We're going to have to check that chart out. Now, I get why flow was going in, I get why we got a lot of flow going into Adobe, because, you know, Adobe, there's this new AI thing that they have, right? So you could make a pic. I tested it out of last week. So let's say you got a picture of a road and you want to add something, a hole in the road or whatever. You can just like highlight that area and then type the text in and it'll automatically generate. It's in beta right now, but so they're testing it with different they rolled it out to some of their top clients already. They're the enterprise customers. So that's what made the stock boom, because they had already released the feature a few weeks ago. And so because I've been using it, so but it just made the stock boom for some reason the other day. But it's also heading into earnings next Thursday. We're going to get into that. So yeah, nice move on them. Oracle, another one that's crazy. So they got earnings coming up too. I think their earnings are on Tuesday, but it's on my list. And so yeah, it's a lot of flow was going into them. So look here, let's watch this on Friday. They started shorting the video on Friday into the close, but check this out. This is the thing. Well, we're going to talk about NVIDIA, but I'm just going to hit this right now with this. Yeah, they shorted it at the end of the day, but you know, yeah, we're going to get into that. I don't want to spend time talking about it. Then we get into it later. But yeah, but those were some of the stocks that sold off. CVX. Okay. and JP Morgan on there. Cool. This was the weekly flow. So for the overall week, this was the top flow that came in on for options for call flow. So bull flow for Tesla, followed by Meta, AMD, Apple, and NVIDIA, right? So on the put side, we got Goldman Sachs, Disney, Lockheed Martin, AbbVie, and CVX. So why is CVX on here twice? So CVX, that's Chevron, right? Or is it CXV? Yeah, CVX is Chevron. I was thinking it's CXV, but CVX is Chevron. Okay, cool. Got that on there. Yeah. So that was the flow that we had, the biggest flow for the week on, yeah. And this is in net millions, net premiums, right? So, all right, cool. So lessons learned weekly, or just things to share. So last week, man, we had a great week last week, right? So, but does anybody have anything they want to share, or anything that stood out, or anything they want to talk about, or that may be useful for anybody else, or just something you just want to say? Last week. Cool. Right. I'm gonna stay on this slide until we get at least one person to say something.
I heard somebody saying something about a Carvana 300 call for next year, and then I heard somebody said too about the company called the symbols are CAT.
Oh, okay, Caterpillar.
You want to
Okay.
look at that?
Okay. Let me pull up that. I'll pull that up real quick. We're gonna get to here. All right, cool. Let me go over here and I'll bring up Carvana. Look at that chart. See, the thing about Carvana, Sharice, is that Carvana, it pulled back so much. So the move that it's making right now is cool, but it has so much room that it can make up if it really wanted to move. Let me show you like this. I'm gonna bring up. So they said you said next year, right? That's what they said.
They said something about a 300 call for next year.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. So since they're talking about next year, I'm gonna look at the monthly chart, right? So let's look at the monthly chart. So this is what I was talking about, right? In terms of how much ground it has to make up. Look how badly it fell off a cliff. So this is the crazy thing, when during COVID, everything was running up. They were just QE pumping all that money into the market. But look, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is the thing that I've been paying attention to right here with Carvana. And it's so funny that you bring this up. I'm not taking Carvana seriously until it gets back above this 9 EMA on the monthly. It broke up there, but I need a close. When this month close, if it closes above this level on the monthly, then it's bullish. Because if you look here, it ran all the way up here. And when it lost the 9 EMA, it died. It fell off a cliff, right? But it's been coming up. It's been coming around. And we got some good volume coming into it here, right? And again, this is a monthly chart. So each candle represents 1 month of price action. And so if we can break above and hold above this 9 EMA on a monthly, then that would make sense. That 300 would make sense, because then you see up here, right? If at the 9 EMA, this 9 EMA where it fell off a cliff, it was at, what was that, 390? So I can see that 300 call making sense with some time on it, because then that would protect you from theta burn, from time burn, and it also would give you time for the play to play out. But I wouldn't start that position until we get a close above this level right here on the monthly. If it doesn't give you that close above, because right now the month is still in play. So if some people probably would have bought it the other day because it was above this line on the monthly. Well, I'm not sure if they were looking at it or not, but we also want to wait for we get by that time we should get a green oscillator bar, and we should get this MACD line across the signal line. It looked like it's about to cross the signal line. Everything. So we need all of these things to play out for this to be bullish, right? So we got this wedge right here that we are trying to break back through. And it's trying to get through there, right? So that would actually give us what we need. That move would actually give us what we need. So, actually, I'm just going to be fair with this, right? So but yeah, I just think that if that happens, then that's a bull signal for me, you know, and then you can start that position. But otherwise, if you started too soon and this candle closes below this line right here, which is the 9 EMA, then that's a head fake, and it's probably just going to continue down or just continue to consolidate, and it's going to burn your option up. So yeah, so we can do that. Cool, but just wait on that. Thanks for bringing that up, Sharice. And
You're
And
welcome.
now we're gonna say, speaking of the monthly, earlier today I was looking at Netflix monthly chart, and it was looking pretty promising.
okay. Jeez, okay. Yeah, Netflix is an interesting one here. Interesting chart. See, I like this monthly. It's also a bear flag, but it still looks good. It looked like it still has room. Just if we just plan it, because it broke above this 9 EMA, it bounced off of this 9 EMA. I don't think it's going to play out as a bear flag, because bear flags can be broken. Well, actually, I would say this. Look, bear flag got broken here. Bear flag got broken. So that is 2-2 continuation on the monthly, a bounce off this 9 EMA. So yeah, that's a nice chart, bro. That's a really good one. When is you know what I'm at, what I'm looking for when earnings is, because you know earnings is ready to come up again. It's almost June. Well, it's June now, so we got earnings about to start again. So I'm trying to see when their earnings to see, you know, they're gonna bring out something, because the news. So I know last week you were talking about it. Yeah, July 18th is their earnings. But bro, last week you mentioned something about you looked at the news or something with Netflix, and or you looked at something. I don't know. We were talking about something with Netflix. So, but I think the issue was the reason I went and looked at the news, and they were saying that it fell off a cliff. It fell off a cliff for a while. I'm gonna go back to a lower time frame. It fell off a cliff for a while because they said that the fact that they were doing those they had already started the password crackdown, that people were going to cancel, but sales started to rise now, and that's what I thought was going to happen, because that's what made me get a Netflix account. Well, part of the reason, but yeah. So, but it's been on the
That
move.
was Kyle that mentioned some news, and that's what made me look at it
Okay,
last week.
yeah, that's what you said. Okay. No, that was cool. It was cool. But no, this is a good chart. It looks great. And then we got a great close on the daily to finish with a hammer. And that was a breakout. But I mean, it kind of looked like SPY right here. But either way, it was a great close. I like that bounce and that resurgence. After, you know, Netflix got a nice way that it moves. It likes to move. It breaks out, move for a while, and, you know, retest that 9 EMA, and then it goes again. But yeah, that's a good chart. It's a good chart. I like this chart. Good call. There's KD. There he is.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, bro? How you feeling?
Kind of sick, but I'm all right.
You just got on here, or you been on here?
No, I was on here.
Oh, sorry. So you saw we went through Carvana then. All right, because I'm gonna get to charts. I was just gonna kind of finish going through. And no, we already flown with charts. So I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay here real quick. I'm just gonna go straight to NVIDIA, man, because that's what we need to talk about just for a second. Then we'll get into SPY, obviously, but I want to jump right into NVIDIA real quick. So we just was talking about the flow a little while ago, right, on NVIDIA, and how, you know, they were shorting it at the end of the day. But look, this was the earnings breakout right here. So this is the earnings gap here. And NVIDIA has been holding above this earnings breakout since, you know, earnings. And it's been congregating above here for a while, right? So showing a lot of strength. So then we got this wedge break right here on the daily, and we got a 222 reversal on the daily also, 222 up reversal, right? So to here. And then we got this. So again, when we got the gap up here, we got the candle confirmation above the wedge break. And so price ran up on Friday, but it moved back down, but it bounced off the breakout here. So, you know, I like that. I just like what I'm seeing in terms of that. Now, a big move is coming for NVIDIA. I don't know what direction is really going to move. Obviously, like in the grand scheme of things, we don't know what the market's going to do. But if the market is really bullish, the way all of that flow, it's been a lot of bull flow going into NVIDIA. It looked like it wants 405. And I'm gonna go over to the weekly real quick. We also finished with a hammer on the weekly, bounced off of the gap fill area right here that I depicted on the lower time frame on the daily. And then here's the monthly also inside month. But you see how like it's almost like the monthly is close to where it opened. So what day of the week is this? It's on the 11th. So we're only 11 days into the month. And so we're pretty much right where we opened. So it's been consolidating tightly. Bulls and bears pretty much agreeing on the same price, right? They're agreeing on price here because it's just been moving around in this area, but it hasn't, it's pretty much where it closed inside month. So I think it's going to continue higher. I'm just waiting for a move because I mean, it's been every other stock, and I mean, this ain't the reason why, right? But every other stock has moved. And again, NVIDIA had its turn and it ran, but right now it's a big part of, it's a major part of the AI story that's going on right now. So it has to go again. It's only right. It's just, if the market's going to continue to run, the market doesn't, we don't have a bull market without the semis. The semis play a big part in the bull market. So if the bull market continues, the market continues. Personally, I'm just going to put my neck on the line. I think NVIDIA going to gap up, if the market opens up, I think NVIDIA gaps up too. But wait till I get to SPY, because some weird stuff going on with SPY though. We got some weird stuff going on with SPY. And I was going to touch on that when we got to that slide, but we might as well just hit it while we're here. So this is SPY, man. We had this on here for a while, but here's a double top area here for SPY. So this was that June, this was the August 2022 high here. And August 2022 high. And then we hit this level again. We broke above that level. We went all the way up to 431.99 on Friday, right? But we didn't break out, and we didn't break out, but we still had a nice close. It was much better than the close here. This one was an inverse hammer versus a hammer. So it looked like a continuation to me. Everything was congregating nicely, unless we get some weird news that comes out over the weekend. It looked like the market will have a continuation. I like the way it finished in the after hours. So if still in the after hours, it managed to get back above 430 and close at 430 in the after hour session. So, looking pretty good. I like what I'm saying, but always keep an eye on the double top area, but it wasn't like a crazy reject. Normally you get one of them weird rejects where it's just, it rejected, but it kind of started to climb back up there. And it's just like holding strong heading into next week. Right. So, yeah. So just something to keep in mind. So now let's go over to Meta. Hit Meta real quick. Shout out to Meta. Meta been paying bills for everybody for a while. Like it just ran for so long and look like it's gonna run again. One sec. So we're gonna start with I was doing a one-on-one yesterday and I still got these lines on this chart. So all right, cool. So let's just start with the weekly on Meta, right? So Meta is still holding this breakout on the weekly, which is important. We got to pull back, but we got to get that off this chart. We got to pull back, but we still got that candle confirmation close above the breakout with Meta. So that's just something to keep in mind. And you saw all of that flow that went into it at the end of the week. So, yeah. So Meta still look like it wants to have a continuation and go. And plus, I told y'all last month or like a few weeks ago that if Meta got above 268, that it was going to go, that once it got above 268, that it was likely going to go to 300. So I still believe that it's going to 300. So yeah, that's where we are with Meta. And Let me go to the monthly real quick. Now, this is a monthly chart. Crazy how, you know, you get those reversals and you get those. But this is why I said Meta been paying bills for a while, man. Look at this for a second. It's just been going. It's just been going. This is the only flat month we got. Look, right now it's a doji on the monthly. You can't even see the line unless I pull it up. So it's just like at a doji right now. It's just, you know, so it's just kind of just sitting there close to where it opened, slightly below where it opened, but you know, so. Yeah, another stock that I wanted to hit, I gotta hit Microsoft because it had a crazy bull flag on the that crazy bull flag, right? That it just broke out and it just took off and it wouldn't stop, right? And then, but yeah, just so pullback, nice pullback. I didn't see that in terms of top flow either. I didn't see Microsoft on that list. Like, I didn't, interesting. Hold on. Just something I'm taking a look at. Anyhow, just a thought that came to my head, man. But I like Microsoft, man. Again, this is another, the reason I brought this up is for a few reasons, right? Whenever the market is bullish and we get a crazy surge in the market, Microsoft goes, right? We have a nice move. Microsoft is one that you can count on to move. And so we had the pullback, but we got a 222 reversal on the daily. We still rejected the non-EMA here. We need to get back above that non-EMA. So we're going to keep that on watch, but it looked like if we can get above that non-EMA, we're going to close this gap up here. Let me fix this area. If we can get back above that non-EMA, that's where it's looking to go. You can almost be certain that that's where it's going to go if we are able to get back above the non-EMA. It's going right up there. So let's keep Microsoft on watch, and again, wait for the move. And then so we get above that non-EMA, we should be able to get back up there in, what is that? The 130, the 333.6 area. So, you know, non-EMA is right here. That's a nice price move if we can get above here. So just again, above here, that should take us where we need to go. So let's keep that on watch. I'm actually going to put this here as interesting though, because right, you see, and I'm talking about, this is a daily chart. So again, you're waiting for a candle confirmation. So if you're going to play this, and you're looking for a move, this would obviously be a swing trade because, you know, you're waiting for that candle confirmation on a daily. We got above the non-EMA on Friday, but it rejected it. So if you just, you know, that was enough for a move, but yeah, still a reversal, and it's in force. It's a 222 reversal in force. So that is a bull signal. The market is bullish. So let's just see. But you got to know Microsoft is another stock that benefited from AI. So it ran a lot. So stocks got to cool off. And then also SPY, we got to understand SPY. There are other stocks that are in SPY that aren't technology stocks that had played a big part in the market running, like last week. We had financials that pushed the market last week, and say utilities, but energy pushed the market last week. So we had a lot of that going on. So, you know, it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh yeah. KD said that there's a speaking event for NVIDIA on Monday. Oh shit. Bro, hold up. So unmute, KD. I know you said you sick, bro, but you got to talk, bro. Gotta go back to NVIDIA.
Yeah, what's up?
Tell me more. So there's an event
So
Monday?
it starts at 9 a.m., but I don't know what time they actually speak.
Oh
yeah.
shit! Look, excuse my French, but oh shit, man, we about to be rich when market open. Because that's why I was trying to figure out why were they selling it off on Friday, but it was holding this area. I got to find out more about this event. So
Yeah.
what is it? Hold on, let's find out more information about this event.
They ran it into close, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
And then they ran it into close, right?
No, they pulled it back. They pulled it back purposely into close. But we look, that's when I waited for it, and then I sniped that move and called out that play for the team before the close. I waited for that pullback.
Yeah, I saw the notification. I at least bought one of them.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right, what you say, KD?
No, that wasn't me.
No, but I'm asking you about the event. Like, you find anything else
Yeah,
about it?
I could find out what it's called. Could look it up, you know.
Okay. Yeah. And see. Yeah, man. So we got a bunch of snipers around finding stuff, man. But like I said, I didn't even I remember you mentioning that. I think you said it.
That's another event. I knew about that one. That's like NVIDIA Day, but this is something different. I don't know what's. I'm about to find out now. Hold on.
Okay, cool. And we'll just come back to it as we moving. But yeah, I'm like, because I was just wondering, I'm like, why is it pulling back? But like I said, what they like to do, and I'm just gonna be like, again, there's a difference between a pullback, you know, and a retracement, right? So that was just a pullback, and so you shake out weak hands, people that just buying stuff because they just buying it, right? But I'm looking at the market structure, I'm looking at the chart, I'm looking at what's going on, and I'm looking at what smart money buying behind the scenes, right? So as the stock was selling off, smart money was still sending order blocks buying shares. I was seeing order blocks of shares, you know, on the dark pool coming through. So it was lots of money coming through on the dark pool for NVIDIA. It's going to make a big move. And right now, it's looking like it wants to go up higher. And then the flow looked like, it looked like it wants 405. If there's an event that's happening Monday and then at 9 a.m., first of all, I didn't know about this event. And that kind of would have, you know, I just don't, man, very interesting.
I got a name of it. It's called Future of Transportation Conference. It starts at 9 a.m. NVIDIA is one of the speakers. So.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. It starts at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. Sheesh. Thanks, bro. Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There it is. So Tesla's going to be there too?
No, I didn't hear that. Just in the video.
Oh, okay. Because okay. Oh, say Tesla and NVIDIA will be at the New Street Research Future of Transportation Conference Monday through Wednesday. So maybe Tesla's going to be there on Wednesday.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, because once you told me the name of it, I just went into the search for it and found I'm gonna post this whole conference thing right here. Now I'll post it in the chat, the photo. Thanks, bro. That's the type of stuff that we be needing, man. So I'll post more context to it, but I just posted it in the chat. But yeah, so that's good. That's bullish, man. That's bullish. And but yeah, if the market's running, so that should, I'm gonna tell y'all, so that should affect Uber, that should affect Lyft and all of those types of companies too. If they're talking about future of transportation, because if they're talking about NVIDIA, they're obviously talking about chips and how, and you know, Tesla plays a big part in the chips and all of that. So it's a lot of information that we should probably be paying attention to. If y'all want to speak, y'all can unmute because it's hard for me to read the chat if I'm presenting and looking at stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna need
So I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but NVIDIA's actually been working on self-driving technology, so it makes sense for them to be at that conference.
Yeah, I knew that. That's what I was just saying, that they helping with the chip, with the you know, because their chips are a big part of, you know, the NVIDIA playing a big part and all of that. So that's why I thought about Uber and Lyft, because you know, of the technology of the whole, because remember initially, I think it was who donated, it was Volvo that donated those cars to Uber. Those they donated a lot of cars to Uber for the self-driving technology thing, because that's the whole thing right now. And they got they had the first recently they were talking about the first McDonald's that's like employee list, where you actually go in and do things. I know they got some Amazon stores like that now where you can go grocery shopping. It's just like that, no people at all. And so eventually that's what they shooting for Uber as well. So that's interesting. But so NVIDIA plays a big part in all of this because that's the most innovative chip company or semiconductor company right now. And obviously you got Tesla, that's doing their own thing, and you got a lot of other things going on. But yeah, I wonder what they're going to talk about. I'm obviously what they're going to talk about, but I'm looking forward to seeing that yeah, that's going to be good, man. I'm looking forward to it. So we got to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Good information. That's good news. Yeah, so they sold it. Yeah, so they pulled it back, but they didn't really do any damage to it. So if you just were somebody just in a play, just to be in a play, you would have got shaken out of that play, but not if, I just didn't. But I wasn't paying attention to that. So that's good stuff. But the fact that it's starting at 9 a.m. and time the video is gonna speak, because that's some good stuff for Monday, because on Monday, that's pretty much an indecision day after power hour. So let's see. My bad, I'm just looking at more information. Okay, cool. Enough of that right now. We'll get more. We'll look deeper into it, right? But yeah, man, just looking forward to seeing what that's about. And Katie, you said something about your stock too, your EMPH. Weren't you talking about that on Friday? You said you were looking forward to it making a move?
No, I'm looking at I was looking at CAT.
Oh yeah, that's what Therese just said. Okay, your
Their chart looking pretty good.
Okay,
I think it's gonna have a move.
Sheesh. Okay, solid chart, especially with the hammer right here. Okay. All right. Okay. It looked like it wants this gap fill on the daily. Look like that's where it's headed towards. Nice eye. And if the market runs, it's definitely going to surge. Okay. So the fact that that CAT is moving like this, so we got to check out Home Depot. Is only right. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad you brought this up. We got to keep an eye on this. Well, Sharice said that you brought it up too. So she mentioned both of the stocks that you had brought up. So
nah, I'm done with CVNA. That was just for Friday.
Okay. Well,
that was
so
just you know what happened? It was like it was an after earnings play. So I didn't expect it to be part of this fucking flow going into like meme-ish. I didn't expect to do all that.
Well, that's what it did last earnings. Well, not last earnings, that January earnings when we played it. We played it after earnings, and it ran like a bat out of hell. But it made a move like that. But this one was it was too late, man. This was too late. Was nothing I could do about that, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, but you caught it at a good time and you made a nice profit off of it. So that was a solid move that you made.
I had to wait a while though. It pulled back first. I had to wait a little while.
Yeah, no, that was solid though. So yeah, this is a great chart, bro. Thank you for bringing this up. I'm gonna have to post this in the chat, and I'm gonna post it in the chat now. I'll put the level. I'll name it and put levels on it later, but I don't want to forget to post it.
When you get a chance, like also Lululemon, when you get a chance, but not right now.
Shout out to you on that one too, bro, because last week or the before earnings, you were talking about Lulu, and again, Lulu used to be back in the day, Lulu was one of them ones that shout out to Tierra, that used to be one of her stocks, and it used to run like hell, but then it cooled down for a minute, and then we got so you said it was gonna move, and that thing, it was a huge move. I'm just going to put this here. I'll edit it and put the levels later. I just don't want to forget the charts. So, and put cat next to it. I'll do it like that. Cat, yeah, that's better. Yeah. And so yeah, man, no, I gotta hit Affirm because I saw Jamie had posted something in there. Now the thing with this Affirm situation is, so Affirm been had the deal with Amazon, right? They've been, but the thing is, it was the outlook that changed now. They got a bullish outlook on it, what it's going to do for the stock now. So that was why it kind of squeezed last week. So yeah, that definitely was a squeeze. That was a crazy move that it had because you know, the stock is only, it's worth, you know, it's under $20 now. So a move like that is considered a squeeze. I mean, that was a crazy move. The volume in it was crazy too. So hold on, go down. Let me see the weekly because this is a little too much noise on the daily. That's crazy, Katie. Remember 2021? How this stock used to be like, it was one of them crazy stocks. I can't believe it used to be that much money. It used to be over almost $200. It was, and the IV used to be crazy on it.
It showed what, look, I had like 3 of them and I had sold 2 and kept 1. And I looked at it yesterday. It was like a negative $100 and some dollars. I said, I'm just gonna leave it right there. I ain't gonna sell it.
Yeah, you might as well just leave it now, right? You got that. You might as well just hold that.
Yeah, I was like, but I'm glad I had sold 2 of them before it crashed like that. So
Yeah, that's crazy. So hold up. So when you bought when you had the first ones, were you profitable on them?
yes, I was. And then I sold them. I sold 2 of them. I was like, I'm gonna keep 1 because I'll go sell them all. I said, I'm gonna keep 1, but I sold 2. And so I still got that 1 I kept.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. At least you got
Yeah,
some
'cause
profit out of it.
it would have been definitely lost if I would have kept them. But I
Yeah.
was mad about selling them because I didn't want to sell my stuff, but I did.
Well,
And
look,
so,
check it out. Like, just think about this, because a lot of people say that. A lot of people struggle with that. But I want to say this. Like, the stock market is like make money too. Like, you know how, like, for example, if you were to save money, it's just sitting there being saved. But
right.
the point of a stock is to invest and flip that money. It's like if you were to put money, if I started an apartment building and said, I just need, this is my vision for it, and you believe it, by this time, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put up 50K and I want to see a 50K profit back by this time. You see that profit, you take the profit. You know what I'm saying? You wait for a nice pullback, you know, and then you re-enter that position. Because what I always tell people is when a stock gets too far away from the 50 moving average, the 50 EMA, which is the mean value of the stock, in my opinion, then that's when you want to say you want to take profit, because it's too far away from the mean. So that's when you want to start taking some profit. Now, there are obviously stocks where you hold in because, you know, you got different reasons why you're holding, like dividends or stuff like that. But I'm talking about most stocks that pay dividends don't really move like that anyway, you know, for the most part. Because I mean, there are a few stocks that do. But I'm saying, but you definitely want to be taking profit and not necessarily taking the money and spending it, but you're re-entering at nice points so you can really make some money and profit. Because otherwise, there's no reason to. Now, there are other stocks where you feel like, for example, let's say a stock like NVIDIA. I remember back when NVIDIA it was before it got to 300. Peter was talking all of this smack about how NVIDIA was worth $1,000 and it shouldn't be as cheap and all of that stuff. Look, now it's a $400 stock. So, you know, when you believe in a stock and its vision and you see what it's doing, that's a totally different thing. But you still want to buy in at different levels, taking profit, and depending on what the move is. You can trade stocks too, but then some stocks you just obviously holding, and but there's nothing wrong with taking profit, is what I'm saying. Especially when it ran like that, you like, man, I gotta realize some of this is not a profit until you take some of it. So that's good. That's good. But yeah, so Affirm, man, it broke out, right? And we back above the 90 EMA. It's been above the 90 EMA on the weekly for a few weeks now, right? And we got some green oscillator bars. Let's see if this move continues. But again, just keep in mind, that's why when we hear the words like, well, we're in a bull market now, well, we entered a bull market, it's true, because stocks that got beat down, that don't have a really lot, they aren't profitable, they don't have free cash flow, those stocks are the first to sell. Like I was telling y'all before, stocks that got free cash flow, they got money, they can weather the storm. They aren't the stocks that get sold off like that. So that's just something to keep in mind. So, but let's go to IWM. So IWM, just like how we trade SPY. SPY is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500, the top 500 stocks on the New York Stock Exchange. The Russell 2000 tracks the 2000. It got the smallest stocks on the Russell 3000. So these are the small cap stocks, right? So when small cap stocks start to move, that the market is starting to be bullish, because small cap stocks are, again, one of the stocks, they don't have a lot of free cash flow. And so those are the first that you sell. This is something to pay attention to that I was looking at on this chart, right? We got a few things on here that looks good, right? I'm gonna show y'all. Give me a sec. This thing is kind of sticky. And all right, y'all get the drift. It's real sticky. But look, so we got this green oscillator bar. This is the first green oscillator bar that we've had on the Russell 2000 since, and this is a weekly chart. So this is since March, right? So when it turned green, it turned red in March, but we didn't have a green one. This was like light, maybe, I ain't gonna be picky with the color, right? But we got the MACD crossed above the signal line, and we got two green oscillator bars, with the second one being even more bullish. But look, this is what happened. This is what I'm looking for. Now, we saw this on Tesla a few weeks ago on the study group, pointed it out when it happened. And this is a weekly chart. We touched it, we broke through there, but we didn't get a candle confirmation. I'm waiting for next week. I believe that if the market runs next week, we should be able to break out of this wedge and get a candle confirmation. We get a candle confirmation, this is going to run like a bat out of hell. So if we really are in a bull market cycle, then we can make money off of this. Like I said, we played this last week and turned $85 into $285. So, and that was just a small, quick trade that we played that didn't have a whole lot of time on it. So, but we got a nice, it closed with most of its gains on the weekly. Now on the daily, because again, this is another stock or ETF that we should be watching, because of, if we are in fact in a bull market cycle, then we should get certain stocks should move. So yeah, so we got this close here. So it could come down, it could pull back and close this gap right here on the daily, if we get a pullback. But just the way the market closed, and now again, we got two big events that are coming up on Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, I'll just say we got big events coming up all week, right? But if things go according, all I care about is Monday right now. All I care about is Monday right now. Let's see how things, and then work out Monday and see how things close, see how the end of the day goes. But that's all I'm worried about is Monday right now. But I feel that regardless of what the Fed, I can't say that, but I don't think the Fed gonna pause. That's just all I'm gonna say. I don't think he paused.
I don't think he gonna pause either.
Yeah. I don't think it's happening. So this big run that we getting, he made now the one thing Powell does, but better than anybody, he dance. The dude dances. So he gonna get on there. He's not gonna answer your question. He's gonna say the same thing over and over again in several different ways, no matter how you try to ask him the question. So, but I just don't think we're pausing. I think that we're going to continue rate hikes. Unemployment is getting higher, which is great for the Fed, and inflation is coming down. Now,
I think CPI is gonna be bullish, and then I think he gonna give us another 25%.
I love it. So if CPI is bullish, so look, check this out. So what he just basically, so CPI is Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m., right? The market doesn't open until 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Eastern time. So whatever happens on Tuesday morning, it's the market. Ain't nothing we can do about it options wise until the market open, right? So we will be prepared for whatever happens, right? And so Katie, what's the fear and greed on it right now? So if you go to CNN.com, you can check the fear and greed index and see what that's looking like, right? And I'll pull it up. I can pull it up real quick. But yeah, I was going to ask you because I saw you just.
Yeah, that joint is over greed right now.
Yeah, it's on greed. Yeah. So, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at it like this. Yeah. So it's on, but the fear and greed index I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick. The fear and greed index runs off of RSI, pretty much the overbought and oversold conditions. If and that's why I judge it accordingly. You know me, I'm like, damn, this stock ran up a lot, but certain stocks haven't. Certain stocks, the ones that run, some of them pull back, some of them did. So, use that fear and greed index though. It's a very good tool to use to see. I'm gonna bring it up for y'all real quick.
It's in extreme greed right now. It entered it like Friday.
Yeah. So but the thing is, like I said too also, but I just try to also consider the market and consider put everything in context too. So what I mean by that is I'm putting it in context of let that load, what the hell? All right. I'm just refreshing because all right, there it is. As soon as I hit it. But yeah, man. So it's an extreme greed right now, right? So the market ran like hell. And but yeah, so the market ran like hell, and that's pretty much how it is. But if we are in a bull market cycle, the market's been down for a while, and a lot of stocks that were asleep are awake now. You always get a retest. You always get a pullback before a continuation. So like KD's saying, it's a fear and greed index. And, so we also have something called sector rotation. So the stocks that were dead, that's the S&P 500 overall that the fear and greed index is measuring. So there are certain stocks that have been dead for a while. And again, I pay attention to the fear and greed index, but also, I just think, I think Powell going to bring the market down. I could be wrong, but I think he's going to bring the market down. We're going to get to enjoy it. Now, we may get a surprise with CPI. I think the CPI, it's just, I don't see how, but I'm tripping about the fact that we don't know what the forecast is yet. They still haven't given us the forecast yet. That's crazy. We normally would have the forecast before, but maybe we'll get it. I guess we'll get it tomorrow morning, but that's just weird to me. We don't have the forecast for CPI yet. And so, but yeah, so keep in mind, like Katie said, just keep that fear and greed index on your mind, because what happens is when a stock is like, I get members or people just ask in general all the time, like, well, what do you think about this stock? But it's always after a stock then broke out and ran like a bat out of hell. I'm like, yeah, that is about to cool off, maybe. I don't want it up there. I want it when it comes down, right? So same thing. Let's talk, like we got to touch Tesla on Friday. So like last week, here's the weekly on Tesla, right? So we got another thing. So look, we got the candle confirmation up here too. That we were watching this before the candle confirmation, right? But hold up, and there's a gap that Tesla wants here too. But shit, hold on. There we go. So, but let's talk about Tesla. So yeah, so on Friday, well, we were already in Tesla. We were in Tesla because we foxed the move when they pulled Tesla back. And I'll start there. I'm gonna start there. No, I don't gotta start there. That's too far to go back. But yeah, we bought Tesla because at the end of day on Wednesday, it was they pulled it back, but it was holding key levels. And based off of my back testing, I'm like, it's likely to gap up right here. Specifically, I was saying that there was a 90% chance that it would gap up from that area. It gapped up and ran like $9. We talked about it on Zoom that if it got, and we had the 230 calls, right? So we were pretty much going like, if it broke above go to the daily. That's might as well. So I'm like, if it broke above 230, which was our price target, that's where we would take, that's where the profit was to be taken, because it pretty much ran, it was up $9 from where we purchased it the night before or the day before, right? And so I'm like, if it broke above 231, it was going to at least 237. So we grabbed more calls, and it ran all the way to 252. So the next that Friday, a lot of people who didn't get Tesla, wanted to play Tesla. They were anxious for Tesla, but that's where that greed come in from FOMO. And my plan was that we would just look, me and Corleone, we were on the same page because we were already in Tesla. We like, man, we taking profit at market open. I just want to chill today, because I know it's Lotto Friday, but $1,000 Thursday had babies. So it was no reason to really trade on Friday. So we ended up, I told the team, I said, all right, cool. I'll, after hearing, can we have a pool dad like 30 times? I'm like, all right, cool. Let's do something. It's so crazy. The setup's still here. So I said, if Tesla came back down, yeah, I'm glad everything is on the chart. So I'm like, if Tesla came back down to, is this the chart? Is this it? Is this it? Yeah, when you on a 5-minute, man, it's just a lot. But I know it's Friday. Yeah, it's Thursday, so it's up in here. Yeah, it's up in here. Put my 9 EMA back. I mean, my VWAP back on here. There we go. Now it makes sense. Okay, it's right here. So I told the team. So Tesla ran out. Now we were on Zoom, so there were a few different ideas. I told the team. First, we were watching this consolidation cluster here. I'm like, it's holding above VWAP. Now, this is the day after, because again, this is where we were already in here from this move. So when we woke up, we already ate from it, gapped up overnight. It closed down here and it ran all the way up here, right? So we were already in. So I told the team, I said, if it break out of this cluster right here, it's going to run again. It broke out and it ran so fast. I mean, again, I wasn't trying to trade it, so we didn't trade it anyway. But I told the team, like, if it pull, I'm like, all right, cool. If it pull back down and retest VWAP in this 9 EMA, I'll call out a trade, just for the people that missed the trade, right? And that's what happened. It pulled back down here. We got a nice candle close and a bounce off of this. And then something happened. The market, like I saw QQQ SPY, everything coming down real quick, and SPY lost it. I mean, Tesla lost this level. I told the team, now before we cut it, I told the team, we paid $249 for this particular trade. I told the team, I said, we're cutting this trade because the setup broke down, but it broke down so quickly that trade went down from $240 something down to like $110 or something. I told the team, I said, well, we're going to sell this trade. I said, but we're going to get most of these profits back first. I said, because I believe it's going to at least come back up and retest this 9 EMA first, and before it violently sells off. If it violently sells off and it came back up there, end up cutting it down $50, right? And it ended up coming back up, and it ran like a good, well, let's be clear. First, when I called the trade out, it ran 20% first, right? So, but I'm saying, but when it came back, it ran like 20% again when it came back. But I told the team to cut it down $50. I got some kickback from a few people, and they ended up taking a really bad loss because it ended up going all the way down here. Because I mean, that's just where it was going to go, man. You got to trade your setup, and you got to stick to it regardless. Like, again, we had made thousands of dollars already, so it was no reason for us to really trade it. And I knew that if I did call out this trade, it was important to cut it early and not, like holding and hoping, right? Because when you hold and hope, you lose money. I'd rather lose, if a trade costs $250, I'd rather lose $50 and then get in another trade that's $100 and make all of that back, plus like times 10, right? Versus trying to stay in a bad trade. Because what happens is most traders, they cut winners too quickly and they hold losers too long. And that's why your P&L be off. You got to trade like a business. Like, all right, cool. You know how you ever hear people say, cut your losses, or businesses be cutting their losses, buying people out of their contracts and stuff like that. Or yeah, like you got to cut your losses sometimes. Like it ain't working. Like, this ain't working. So I'm just going to buy them out of that contract, you know, take the loss or whatever. So, but it'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, so, but one important thing I want to point out about this trade too is I knew a lot of people were going to take this trade because they missed this one. So it was important to kind of stay on that, right? And we had traded Tesla for 2 days straight and made money from Tesla 2 days straight. And this was the second trade, or the third trade for me on Tesla when we traded this breakout here. I mean, we got these in the close and it gapped up like, what was that? Like a $10 move, a $9-10 move overnight, right? So, but it was, and what I was explaining to the team on Zoom that morning was, it was like in a 1 hour time frame, we had already had 23 million in volume on Tesla. After it had already moved up, I'm like, man, I don't think it's going up. I just didn't think it was going up, really. It wasn't going to be that big of a move if it did, because it already ran. They were going to try to drag that down because so many people were going to try to do it. But yeah, so it came back, it retested. But that's the important thing about this is sometimes setups don't work, regardless of how much work you do, but you got to also consider the context. If I look at SPY, QQQ, and every other major stock that was, let's say anything in the tech sector, everything looked just like this around that time because the whole market pulled back for whatever reason at that moment. So it's just like you gotta, and that's another thing that we got to get people, I want people to be in the habit of doing, looking at the whole market. Like you don't just look outside and say, damn, why my car wet? You know, it's raining outside. That's why your car is red. It's not just your car, right? So there are some times where there's situations where it's just a stock, but, trading the open and trading a stock that already ran is just dangerous anyway, right? So, but you got to have a plan. We had a solid plan. We got out of that trade, the way we needed to. But yeah, so, but I guess I said all of that to say, because this is so crazy. But this was, we kind of went on a tangent, but we covered everything almost. And but we were in the question and recap section of the presentation. So it's good that we had got to this. But the point is, I wanted to make is, when I call out the initial trade, take the initial trade. You don't need, if you need to have confidence to decide whether you want to take this trade versus that trade, and your motivation comes from seeing the previous trade, then yeah, that's not where it should come from. It should come from because you looked at the chart and you say, okay, yeah, this is a great trade. Or you were on Zoom with us and you heard me talking about it and you knew from there that it was a good trade. But or just take the initial trade, because if it's not a good trade, I'm gonna let you know we're gonna cut the trade, right? So we're up, and like I said before, excluding the Tesla trade, excluding this big Tesla trade that we have, the one that generated over $2,000, we crazy up for the month already, and we only 11 days in the month. And not even 11 of those days are trading days because the market is closed on the weekends. Like how many trading days have we had so far this month? We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days. That's all we've had, and we're up. And I'm not excluding the Tesla trade. We're up we're up over $1,000 already per one contract, like on a one contract basis. So we're killing it already. So, but if this is really a bull market, if this really is a bull market cycle, like I mean, if the charts tell the story, right, then we'll see how the rest of this month go. And again, we make money. We trade puts too. So it ain't like we have to trade calls. So we'll have an opportunity. But another thing I will say for people that are trading FOMC, be careful trading FOMC because, on Wednesday, Zoom is open for everybody. If we're trading it, we will be on there. What I typically do for FOMC, I listen to the press conference. I like to hear what the Fed say, and then I'll either trade the after. I mean, if the setup is so good during the beforehand, then we'll obviously we'll be in something then. But it just depends, man. Because again, FOMC is so volatile. We typically I do not call out trades during FOMC. That's something we probably discuss on Zoom. But yeah, so it's just something to keep an eye on. Now, Apple here, I told y'all so much flow went into Apple. We just covered it on the chart, right? But this is what Apple is still doing. Now we got to keep in mind and keep this in mind too. I'm not moving it or the initial breakout line. I'm keeping it there for a reason, because Apple is still holding that breakout. Apple's still holding the breakout. And although we closed red on Friday, it's red on the monthly, I'm sorry, the weekly and the daily. It's still holding the structure, right? And so, and a lot of bull flow went into it on Friday, and overall the week. So a lot of flow went into Apple. Let's see what happens with that, man. So yeah, looking for, and again, if there's no real bull cycle in the market without Apple, because Apple is the biggest stock on the planet. So is the whole market. Now the market can run without tech, with other sectors. And speaking of that, I need to look at Home Depot real quick. But hold up, before that, let's finish with Apple. So yeah, so there's a gap fill on the daily right here, a bullish gap fill here that it could try to fill if it doesn't gap up tomorrow. How y'all think the Asian future is going to open tonight? Any thoughts on how that might play out tonight? Y'all so dry, man. Y'all so dry.
I think it should be good. I think they should open up higher.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll see how that goes. I mean, we ain't had no bad news come out over the weekend. I ain't hear nothing bad. But if we do close this bullish gap right here, then, you know, that's just some room down to, what is that? The 80.57. That's not even a really big gap. And now it closed that gap and bounced off of it, which was also this breakout level here. So I don't know, like a lot of flow went into Apple. So let's see what they do with it, man, because if it gets back up, it's going to make a nice move back up to the all-time. It's going to try to at least get back up to the all-time high if it starts to move again. If we get a nice surge off of it, nice pullback for continuation. It finished with a 222 continuation. I'm sorry, 222 reversal, but not in force. I'm sorry, a 212 reversal, a 212 reversal, and a 312 reversal. Sheesh. That's what that is. That's a 312 reversal we got right here on Apple on the daily after that bounce off the 9 EMA, but it still closed back above this breakout. So yeah, I don't know. We got to see Apple, man. You see, obviously, that's some volatility right there. Crazy volatility, because they had that event last week too. But what was the stock I just said? I needed to check out. It was something that was important. Totally forgot. Oh yeah, Home Depot. Cool. Yeah, nice. Okay. So Home Depot got a nice bounce off the 9 EMA on Friday. It bounced off this gap fill right here. So it closed this bullish gap and then bounced off of it right here. So we even though it finished with a 222 reversal, let me see what the weekly looks like. Yeah, weekly looks good too. Another close above, gave up all of the gains, but still closed above the 9 EMA. Looked like it wants this gap fill right here on the weekly. Nice move. So look, check this out. I'm gonna tell y'all what's gonna happen. Let's say the Fed doesn't pause. I never thought he was going to pause anyway. I think we're going to get another 25 basis points. Does that mean that, but look, if the Fed says, if they do give us another 25 basis points on Wednesday, but says something like that, sounds like that may be the last rate hike or something. He never says that, but they always looking for some hope, right? So if that happens, then because if the market is going to pull back, most likely it's going to pull back during that press conference, right? But you see, shit, where did that come from? Hold on. But I'm looking at this Home Depot chart. I'm bringing this up for a reason because Home Depot is one of the biggest beneficiaries of a Fed FOMC move or CPI move. And we got a green oscillator bar. We haven't had a green oscillator bar on Home Depot since February. I think this was earnings. This had to be earnings. That's crazy gap right here. Is that earnings? I'm not sure. That's a weekly, so this probably wouldn't be earnings. Yeah, that's a weekly. So this was something that happened overnight. This was something that had happened it's a weekly. So this is a Tuesday. This is February 21st, February. Yeah, so this was a week. Yeah, that was a gap down over a weekend or something. Something happened, or it was I'm not sure what it was, man, but it was a gap down that happened over the weekend or something. But it looked like it wants this gap. It wants to fill this gap back up to 317.34. That's where it looked like it wants to go. But we got to get through this gap fill area first. So once we start to get, and so if we were to move like this, see what happens, right? Because we got the MACD line crossing the signal line here. So we got this cross up happening. Again, this is a weekly. So the weekly, it takes longer for a weekly chart to set up, weekly trade to set up. But I like this setup on this chart, man. You know, I'm a wedge guy. So, and it's been consolidating in this range for a while. We hit the bottom of this range. So now it's going back up. And then it's going, the market is talking about this too. Let me see where my 21 EMA is. Okay. Okay. Makes perfect sense. Turn this VWAP off. So my 21 EMA is right there. Let me see where my 50 is. So the 9 is about to cross the 21. We need that to happen. We get the 9 across the 21, then we in action. Hold up. Let me see where my 50 at real quick. I just got to see it. I'm going to switch it back. Okay. The 50 is right there. Okay, so let me just change this back to my 9. All right. So hold up. So that 50 is where? Okay. I already changed it. I think the 50 was up in here. All right, cool. That's perfect. So the 9 EMA is about to cross the 21. We need that to happen anyway. Now, you know, the EMAs are lagging indicators, but I'm just looking for more points, right? So we got like I tell you all the time, it's like it's never just one thing that we're looking at for these moves to take place. We need all of these things to work in sync. Like if you can't just say that he was in the area, so you know that he did it. You know, you need the weapon, you need the witnesses, you need the DNA, you need all of that, right? So it's like the same thing with the market. So you can't just say with a 9 just crossed the 21 or 9 about to cross the 21 EMA. We got MACD, so we got momentum building. We got the MACD line crossing the signal, so we got the green oscillator bar. We got some volume. The volume has been bullish the last few weeks. This one was a little lower, but once that 9 EMA crossed that 21 EMA, we're gonna get that move. Now, keep in mind, like I said, that's a lagging indicator. So what'll happen after the move starts, like right here? When we had the 9 cross to 21, the move had already started taking place. So I see it about to happen. So now, and I'm already seeing these other indicators or other, indicators. So I'm like, all right, cool. I may start a position, put some time on that position and allow it to happen, but I'm gonna wait for, I need just let price move. But yeah, this is a stock to keep in mind, because if whatever happens with the Fed on Wednesday, if it's mixed and we don't really get any bad news from the Fed, but we do get because again, I'm not sure if they've already priced in the possibility of another 25 basis points, the way the market has been moving. So if the market was to pull back, now we have to look and see where the market could possibly pull back to. If we get a pullback from that news, like I said, what I think is going to happen is until Wednesday, SPY is going to play around in this area. I don't think we're going to break through 431 or like above this level. I don't think we're going to really break too far above this area until after we get that Fed decision, because if the Fed is hawkish, then it's coming down. We're going to get a move down. I don't think it's going to die, but if you look at the way this plays out, right? This is a daily, well, I'm actually on the weekly again, right? So yeah, we got a lot of data that's coming out this week, man. So we can see people are really bullish right now. So just see how things play out. Let me see the daily real quick, just quickly. And again, we broke out of this consolidation. So we up here now. Yeah, I think it's going to play in this range. And then depending on what the Fed say. Now, this is what my thought is right here. I had to see a cleaner chart. If the Fed give us 25 basis points, and it sounds like we may get another rate hike or something after that, we closed at 429 something. I think we'll probably be up around 430 maybe when that happens. I think we're gonna come, it's gonna make a nice move down probably to this 9 EMA. So they probably try to push it all the way back up to 430, like around that 431 level or something. Then it'll make a nice like few dollar move down, but hold the 9 EMA. So let's see how far they keep it above the 9 EMA. Now, if before the Fed decision the night before and all of that, they bring us all the way back down to this 9 EMA, then I think the Fed, he may pause and the market probably run like a bat out of hell. But if it's all the way up here, I just think that they're going to bring it back down here because then, before we get a continuation. But yeah, but now you see, right, just because every chart tells a story, but everything is contingent on this FOMC. Fed Powell controls the market pretty much, got the market in his hands right now. But up until then, we got all of Monday. And then we possibly CPI is a wild card, always a wild card. I don't know what CPI is going to do this time, but they up to some tricks because we don't know what the forecast is yet. That's the craziest thing I've seen. I don't know what's going on with that. So yeah, that's that, right? And but just to finish this out real quick, get the last bit out of here, see what else we got on here. Well, we already went through questions. Nobody had no questions. We went through what's up with SPY. We already did our chart setups. These are the earnings that we got coming up, right? We only got a few earnings this upcoming week, right? So this is how you know we at the end of an earnings cycle because we don't have any, this is a bare earnings chart, right? So I got a few circled because we talked about them earlier. Adobe is probably a wild card, one to keep in mind, keep an eye on. Now, FOMC is Wednesday. That's another good thing about that is FOMC is Wednesday. So if Powell pulls the market back and Adobe comes back, because it's been running like crazy, it might be a nice move. We obviously some levels to keep an eye on first. Oh, look at that, right? Aurora Cannabis got earnings. I don't really. Aurora Cannabis always got a special place in my heart because this is probably one of one of my biggest options moves that I had before, like a few years ago. So I like the stock, but it was because of that legislative talk and all of that. So Oracle, another one. So just another one to keep in mind. But again, I'm not looking to trade these companies for earnings, right? Maybe Adobe, but I'm not looking to trade any of them for earnings. And we like to trade them the day after earnings or the run up. And since Adobe got earnings at the end of the week, we can possibly get an idea on, we'll see how the stock moves and what's up with it by then, right? So yeah, that's it. That's it. Now, hey Corleone, I know you've been trading you've been busy with big tech. Do you got an oil sector? We got an oil sector update? If not,
Nah, I had not. I wasn't on it this week.
I figured that,
I was
man.
out of town. Yeah, I was out of town, and then I could only lock in on them on that Tesla and the video.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm like, there's no way you can watch. Like, I can't even trade Meta and NVIDIA at the same time. So I definitely wouldn't be able to watch the market and do the same thing. So yeah, I think we good. Yeah, so that's all that we have, man, for today, man. All I'll say is tomorrow, again, although we had a crazy week, remember Mondays are still indecision Mondays. So the market is after a long weekend, the market kind of like recalibrates and get itself together. It's almost like when you come to work or something after a long weekend, or just after a weekend, you kind of got to fill things out. it's a lot of news that came in over the weekend that the market is digesting, that the algos are digesting. So if you're trading, trade the first 30 minutes and then be done with it and just wait, to see what's going on. But yeah, so it's just like any other Monday. And so Tuesday, I won't be around Tuesday morning. I won't be around until probably after power hour on Tuesday. And that's crazy because we got CPI Tuesday pre-market, but I'll be watching. But we'll see how tomorrow plays out, man. But we'll get a head start with the futures tonight and see what they're doing. But yeah, thank y'all for hopping on, and enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Bro, take care.
All right,
Bro.
bro.
No problem.